Hey guys, how you doing? Andy messed up the broadcast time, so we're not expecting many of you to be here now, but we're in Malmo and it's been like 4 days, and we haven't gone live yet. And it's actually been really busy.
Yes.
Since we've been here. So obviously the guys have been reacting to the rehearsals, keeping an eye on the TikTok. And before any of you ask, no, we haven't seen anything more than what you've seen on the TikTok.
Those Sylvester Belt wanted to show you the full rehearsal.
Yeah, and we didn't.
We have been invited to see more, but.
And sorry that my head is so big today. However, we're not very well. We're actually in my hotel room, so.
You're in bed with Eurovox.
You're in bed with Eurovox today. So we've got me, we've got Fred, and we've got the beautiful. We can't do Eurovision without Senorita Clara.
Hello.
And we've got Harry from home. How you doing, Harry?
I'm doing good. I'll be joining you guys in Sweden in a few days. How many days now? 5 days, I think.
Yeah, not soon enough, young man.
No, that is correct.
Not soon enough. But you've been glued to the rehearsal, the clip clop tips, clip.
The TikTok tips have been posted.
I wonder why I feel so young now, Andy. It could be anyone.
Oh. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 4 days and we've seen the rehearsal clips for all of the semi-finals now. It actually feels like we've been here longer than 4 days.
Yeah, I arrived yesterday. I think I've been here for 24 hours maybe, and I feel like I've been here already for a week.
Yes.
Yeah,
lots have happened.
I'm trying to think when I got here on Thursday, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I have been here for nearly a week, and I was on my own for a couple of days, which was quite scary. And then Fred, you joined. Then Clara joined, I think, the next day. So the team, and Maria as well.
Yes,
Maria is here also. So the team is coming together. And we have got one face missing that you're used to, and that is Jess. You'll be arriving tomorrow evening. And then, I think Justin's coming. Harry, you're coming. Tommy, we've got Dylan coming.
Chris, Yana as well.
Big team here over the next. Of course, Chris, Yana, Justin. Did I say Justin?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Justin's doing the journey from Australia, which is insane.
He's starting now. He'll be here by the final. That's,
Is he actually starting today?
No, I've got no idea.
All right, okay.
I've got no idea.
But guys, I mean, we have to talk about day one of rehearsals because we've got 4 days to go through. So I'm just going to pull up my list. Before we do that, let's say hello to, we've got Ibrahim. Hello, Ibrahim. We've got Rye Bailey in the house. How you doing, Rye? And of course,
these two guys have been getting a lot of compliments too.
Wow.
By the artists themselves.
Well, we won't go too much into that. There's some things that we will keep private. But
what time does this go out?
Let's go to day one of rehearsals, and of course we started with Cyprus. Celia Capsis. A song that I really, really love, actually, but it doesn't seem to be getting the love that I'm giving it.
Yeah, it's not a song for me because I see it's very basic, but I have to say I'm very impressed by the rehearsal because I think Celia's selling point is her dance routine.
100%.
And I was like, I've seen 15 seconds, like we've all seen, but I really like the choreo there. It just gives it such a dynamism that the video clip didn't do it for me.
No, I like her energy. We did an interview with her, and she's only 17, bless her. But yeah, she really brought the. She loved you.
She's very mature for a 17-year-old as well, absolutely. And full of life. Like she's got this amazing personality. Really, really like her. And yeah, she's super talented. I have to say, she literally does everything. She was telling us about a film she's done.
Yes,
I think on domestic violence. So she does like serious acting. She's one of these girls that you just imagine being brought up in like a showbiz world.
100%. Yeah,
and that's all she knows. Harry, your thoughts on Cyprus and what you've seen?
So yeah, the one act this year that can make me feel a little bit older but yeah, I think it's a very solid nothing wrong with the performance. I would say it's what we expected. The one nitpick I would have with it is, and I think it's one that is maybe on hindsight, the staging. They've gone for more of a dark vibe with like the lighting and the mood. I feel like if they'd have known that pretty much everyone else in semi-final one is also going for something a bit darker in the color scheme, they maybe would have thought, let's go a bit more colorful here with some LEDs in the lighting. But they weren't to know that, of course. Celia performs well. Obviously we haven't seen much of her vocals, but for what we have seen, 17 years old, seems like that she can hold her own on stage. And nothing wrong with the performance here from Cyprus. Done very admirable.
Rye, you're saying Cyprus is underrated. I agree, and I think actually if she smashes the vocals on stage, because there's a lot. She's moving a lot, but we need to remember as well she's 17, so she can probably sing and move around the stage.
The only gesture this year as well.
To me that's loser.
That is loser.
A loser is a liar as well.
That definitely won't be memed if Cyprus do not do as well as expected. I can't see that being an issue on Twitter.
Other standouts from that day, because we had Serbia, we had Lithuania, we had Ireland, which is one that I think a lot of people were waiting to see. Ukraine, Poland, and Croatia. So kind of all countries that people have, there's expectations on. But Serbia, stunning.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that it's getting a lot of love being a ballad, and there's so many songs. The songs that are getting the buzz around this year are so high energy, and this one is a ballad. Maybe out of contrast, this song is getting a lot of love.
I still don't think it's getting the message across from the song. I think the key aspect of the flower being explained and getting that across is important, and I still don't see that being explained.
The thing is with these clips though, you get to see. I reckon there's a lot held back. It's, for me, the staging of Serbia at the national selection was already beautiful. I remember when I watched it for the first time, I actually thought I was about to watch I thought I'd clicked on the wrong video, because I thought I was about to watch the official music video for the song. And it just seems like they've enhanced it. And she's obviously got this big rock as well, which she's interacting with more. I would literally die if Serbia didn't qualify this year, because for me, it's probably one of the classiest songs that we have. People have kind of pitted it against Portugal this year, and I think they're in the same semi-final. It's just looking at this list of countries. I literally want everyone to qualify.
Unfortunately, that's not the way these things work.
I know. I do see why Serbia would cancel Portugal out, and I think given when the time comes, it's gonna go that way. Even if it hurts my heart.
Yeah, I prefer Portugal's voice, but I think the song is better from Serbia. But
it definitely allows for more fantasy when it comes from Serbia.
Yes, 100%.
It's
a story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at who else is in that semi. So we've got Croatia and we've got Slovenia. So they're going to get some votes from. It's
a very Eastern European semi-final, actually, which could be affecting the results, I think.
Yeah, Lithuania. So we got to, spoiler alert, we got to meet Sylvester Belt today, and what a talent he is, right?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Sylvester, on his rehearsal clip, Harry?
Don't fix what ain't broke. The national final performance was fantastic. There was no need to change it, just enhance for the stage. And that seems like what he's done. So it's not, we always get these performances where no one's really going to talk about them at this stage because not much has changed, but if anything, nothing had to change. So yeah, all good. It's going to qualify. No doubts about it.
It's, God, imagine if it didn't qualify. That would be a shocker.
Yeah,
well, that's not going to happen.
I can't see any situation where it wouldn't qualify.
It's so dramatic, that beat, that I think it could be in the dreaded slot of number 2 and it still would qualify. So
and his voice is so pleasant. I love it. I love the contrast of his vocal being. It's not a dramatic sound, but then the contrast of color and like the shoulder moves. That's where the drama is. But his vocals are so calm and they're very pleasant to my ears.
Yeah, and I love the dancers. I love how the dancers are used in this performance. We know what we're going to get with Lithuania anyway.
Yeah.
I love my phrase. It hits and it hits hard. Let's just have a look. Rye Bailey, you're not. Oh, we've got Jess in the house. Jess, where are you? We know you're traveling. Have you arrived in Jess's?
Germany or somewhere?
Yeah, Jess. Brussels. I think. Jess on her way to Brussels. She's got some diplomatic business to take care of in Brussels. It's international Jess. Rye Bailey, you're saying the staging is beautiful, but you're not really that keen on Serbia. But also you love Ireland staging. You think they'll be back in the final.
Talking about dramatic, that is a dramatic stage and a dramatic vocals and dramatic changes and dramatic everything.
Yes.
Is it dramatic then, Clara? Is that what you were saying?
No, I would say it's dramatic.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we saw her out of makeup and we didn't recognize her.
We did. So we were. Where did we see her?
Poland.
In one of the hotels, and she walked through with her team, and it's really strange actually to see her out of makeup and out of a condom wrapper that she's been. Do
they have tame outfits then once in a while? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. Like I have to say, actually, it's really odd sometimes because you go to these, you go to meet artists, and obviously they're made up for their interviews, but then sometimes you see other artists who are just having a down day, which everyone's entitled to.
Yeah.
But you kind of expect them to look made up all the time, and like some of them really, really don't look made up.
I actually recognize them because they have tattoos all over the ribcage all the way down, and in Amsterdam they were out because they were wearing like just nipple covers basically.
Yeah.
Some of their like lower torso was showing through the clothes they were wearing, and I was like, oh, I think I recognize those tattoos.
Jess is saying there are so many good stagings this year. Well, we have to talk about colors because I'm just starting to click now. It seems very kind of white, gold, and blue this year.
Yes.
Obviously, Sweden, gold and blue, like the flag.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, Sweden haven't rehearsed yet. What are you talking about? I just
every year there's like some patterns of colors. Basically, I guess because the TV station has those available, or like kindly suggest them to be used. Because I remember a few years ago it was neon pink and neon blue, and all of them were like those you could find in every performance. And then there was one that was red, or like two that were red, and we were like, oh,
well, yes,
a relief.
I will say, without being a Debbie Downer. Because there's from the pictures and the TikTok, there seem to be a lot of fantastic stagings. I feel we get this every year, and then we see the camera cuts in the second rehearsal and the whole thing. And it's like, the pictures are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Like 2022, that was the case with Cyprus. I would argue 2023, that was the case with France a little bit. Literally, she has the same movement in the pictures as she did in the performance. So we'll have to see what happens in 2024 this year, because there's a lot of good pictures, but that can cover up a little bit with the camera angles.
Yeah, and Clara is you've got an eye for camera angles as well, Clara. You're like Little Miss Camera Angles. So when we get to see now, the press center doesn't open until Saturday, I think. Is that right? Saturday, Friday, Saturday.
I haven't read the manual. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared.
The 3rd, I think. Oh,
what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Your window is open.
Yes.
Oh my god!
We had a ghost in the room.
Is Malmo haunted, guys? Is what we just said.
But obviously, we get to see like the full run through of the rehearsals when we get to see kind of the full run through of the show. So that's when we'll be able to pick up on the camera angles. But Ireland, I actually see Ireland as a qualifier this year.
Yes,
it has the because it's so different, it stands out. So. And yeah, there's nothing else like it, so it has really nothing to compete against.
That's a
my issue with Ireland is I want this to qualify. It's in my 10, but I sort of have to sort of take myself out of the fandom here and think about what the casual fan would think of it. And I don't know whether enough people would get it, or they would just like it enough compared to other entries. Because again, the UK will give this points 100%, and there will be some various Western countries, but as I said, very Eastern European semi-final. So I don't know how many of them will give Ireland some love. It'd be a real shame because, like, I know many Irish friends and fans of Eurovision, and it'd be fantastic to see them in the final. And they've got a chance, absolutely. I'm not saying they're dead on arrival or anything like that. It's their best chance in years of qualifying. But I'm just a bit more hesitant than the odds, maybe, put it that way.
Yeah. It could be the anti, Eurovision style song this year. So because
sorry.
No, I was about to say it's that bit different, and that so that could be the potential that people who are going against the grain, that it gets that vote.
I do agree, but also there's the argument of it's a very untested style at Eurovision. We have very little knowledge on how this will appeal to audience members.
True.
It could do well, could do badly. We don't know.
Yeah.
Could scare people.
It very much could. Although to be fair, Finland could also scare people later.
We've got hey, Mr. System, how you doing? We have to say thank you, because recently as well we hit 25,000 subscribers while you girls were doing the press in Amsterdam. And so Mr. System, we know you come back year after year after year, so thank you so much for that. We always appreciate your support and never leave us. But you're saying 28 years since Ireland won. It might be another 28 years again. Cinnamilly, I see you. Yes, I have been to the barbers today though, so I'm looking.
I'm going just before I go to Sweet Mount.
Now, Paula Radic Ordonez, is that right? Did I say that right? Ordonez. You say, who are winners from each semi? So I'm going to show the guys semi 1 list first of all.
Do you want the in terms of song or in terms of like performance from the scene on the?
I think we can only go by song at the moment because the clips.
Yeah. I mean, you can get a flavor. But
for me personally, Croatia.
Yes.
As in your personal favorite from?
As in who I think will win the semi-final.
Oh, I mean, I think Australia have a good chance this year. It's another song that sort of stands out slightly. Andy?
God, there's so many good songs, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, how would you even choose between these? I mean, personally, I'm with you, Clara. I think Croatia will win.
Yeah.
But as for my favorite, if I had to choose, can I actually just say I surprised myself because one of the songs that I've been listening to most from this year is actually Australia. I maybe wasn't a fan the first time I heard it, but it's virtually on repeat on my playlist. Portugal is absolutely stunning. Serbia is stunning. Azerbaijan for me is stunning. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
I know. That's why.
I mean, it's more along the lines of picking out who you think won't qualify.
Moldova.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, I love Hera to bits, but I'm not sure that Iceland will qualify.
No, she's not.
I love her though. I don't think she will care though. She doesn't seem like that
kind
of person.
She will still be partying with us. No problem.
Listen, she's on the prosecco as soon as she leaves that stage. Don't you worry about that. In terms of my favorite from semi-final 1, and is one that I'm campaigning very hard to qualify because it's borderline. Portugal is my favorite from that. It's like it's such a good song. And I'm worried for it because it's not a guarantee, but. Yeah, for me, it needs to be in the final, or otherwise I'll campaign for juries to come back to semi-finals every day until they do.
I actually think it's a really bad idea to only have a televote only.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
Start the campaign right now.
On it.
And then semi-final 2. So I have to say Malta is probably one that's maybe surprised me.
It's although it's giving you sort of Chanel vibes, it's really done well, and the revamped version of the song really works with the staging, and she's given it her all, and she can sing while she's doing all of that dancing and moving about, and they are chucking her about as well.
In terms of the winner, though, of semi-final 2,
I would love Norway to be the winner, but I know it's not going to be because it's like it's
not the most out there call. To be fair, it's not the most out there call.
It is, yeah.
I think without juries, maybe it is more so. No,
I think juries could like this.
No, I think they will, but I think in terms of the semi, because there is no jury.
There is no jury. So.
No,
I'm not sure whether it would be a semi-final winner.
I mean, in terms of the winner of the semi-final, it's probably Netherlands. But in terms of my personal winner, Switzerland.
I agree. Switzerland.
And who else have we got?
Estonia will do well. I'm now going through with considering the views we get on our socials, depending on which country.
I thought Denmark looked beautiful today. I must say
it did actually. That was a bit of a glow up because I was kind of expecting to see just the same of as what happened, and we are kind of getting the same in terms of like what she's wearing, and she's on this she's on a podium, isn't she? Here again, but then we've got the sand. And I think that's a beautiful addition. Who would have thought to have put sand in that performance?
I don't know. Well, to be fair, I mean, we're talking about literal things, talking about Poland in terms of literal based on the title. There's towers in there.
Let's go to, we've got Britt, who is from Norway, I believe. You're saying Norway is a dark horse. I agree. We were actually talking earlier about like the potential for Norway, even winning, because I think this year the winner is probably or possibly not going to be either a winner of the televote or the jury, or maybe won't even be second place in either. I think this could be the first year where we see a country that's coming sort of third and fourth in both, potentially winning, because I think the votes are going to be all over the place. And that country could be a country like Norway.
I would be happy if that happens.
Possibly.
I think it will be. I think it's going to be a much closer contest this year than we're used to. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen full rehearsals, and when we do see the full rehearsals, our mood around that can change. But yeah, Norway maybe not as dark, because I think Norway's up there as a potential top 3 at least.
Yeah, there's countries where you always see people commenting potential winner, that's my winner, that's my winner, that's my winner. And there's countries that you don't see people commenting that's like winner vibes or anything. And the countries that you get the people commenting my winner, my winner, my winner, and they are not necessarily on the top of the list. It's very interesting for me to see that so many people agree on certain things that are not on the favorite to win.
The one that is for me, I would say on that, I know they're fairly high up in the odds, but they have slipped down since initially. I would say that people are talking about the Italies, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Croatia. People are sleeping on Ukraine. I know they're 5th in the odds, but they've gone down. Like, their staging for me, based on the TikTok clip, is the best of the entire semi-finals. It's the only one. It's giving me goosebumps from a rehearsal clip. Like, that seems fantastic. People need to talk about Ukraine once again as a potential winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Ukraine are in the first semi, aren't they? So yeah, actually, I think I'd put Ukraine in the Norway camp. I don't think they would win either. I don't see them. Oh, maybe jury.
I think they do well in both. I think
they will do well in both. But I think even if they don't win either, they're probably in that where I put that Norway position, which is they can do really, really well in both and then potentially win. And you can't ever discount Ukraine because they send such quality every year as well.
And they're really playing with the visuals, with the imagery, the mystical imagery, and I like it so much. It's like a painting come to life.
Yeah, I'm having a look. Someone mentioned Greece. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, Greece, I will say, has probably been my number one song coming into this. It's the one that I've listened to most. It's the one I've irritated everyone with because I keep going da 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 da. I freaking love Greece. And I was so excited to see what they were going to do with the staging. And I don't think we've seen anything of the staging. I think they've deliberately held back and just showed us kind of some dancers and Marina. But I think that is going to be a performance to wait for. And I see Greece doing really well this year. I was going to say I've been sleeping on Dons. I think Dons is going to be our Alika this year.
I hope. I really want Latvia to qualify.
I think Latvia will be one that will kind of come out of
The blue.
come out of nowhere, and get a really good position. Obviously, he's used my body to mold his kind of armor that he's wearing. I'm not getting any royalties for this, but you know those abs are mine. I will put it out there.
Whose navel?
My navel as well, actually. But I actually see Latvia doing really well.
See, the problem is with like the countries like Latvia, and maybe I'd throw Malta into that mix, is like you see these stagings and you're like, oh, these seem good. These are, you know, it's a solid song. This could qualify. The problem is the people saying that aren't thinking, okay, which is there less than 10 songs that are more likely to qualify than Latvia, or 10 songs more likely to qualify than Malta? The problem is with a lot of these, the answer is yes, there are 10 songs at least more likely to qualify than these. I think this is the strongest year. We're going to have a lot of good non-qualifiers this year.
Yep.
That seems to be a fact. So you can't have all 10 from each semi-final in, and it's sad in that respect.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, one of my favorite songs this year is Austria. And unfortunately, we were talking about this earlier. It's giving me that sort of Kate Ryan sort of vibe that, you know, it's one of the most popular songs going into, you know, the contest, but we think it might hit and just not gel with the audience. So
I'm going to say that if Austria qualify, they're going to scrape through. I'm putting it out there now, and I know that people are going to hate me for it.
Well, to put your mind at ease a bit, Fred, in a televote only system, it is very rare for a girl bop not to qualify. And now, admittedly, in my predictions, I don't think Malta's qualifying, so I'm contradicting myself there a little bit. But Austria, I think, is a bit more popular than Malta. You know, it would have to be very bad. No disrespect to Blanca and Solo, but it got third in the semi-final last year from a televote, and I don't think many people thought it was the third best song in that semi-final. It's a girl bop, it got through. It's very rare for a girl bop not to get through in a televote only system.
Yeah, I think last year you can't discount the Polish diaspora as well. I think that was
no, but it still did well because of it's a girl bop vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the same as Fred. I get potential Kate Ryan disappointment happening here because there's so much love for it in the fandom. But again, we've got another really strong semi-final, and Austria performing quite early on as well. And I think people are going to love Denmark staging. So I think Denmark have elevated their chances with what looks like beautiful staging. Czechia, you know, maybe following Czechia won't harm Austria.
Well, it's technically following France in the actual songs performed.
France, okay, yeah, good point.
Then that might harm them.
I think it helps them because you've got two ballady style things in between, and Czechia's more on that ballad rock style. Kayleen, I think, stands out in their running order, actually.
I wouldn't call Czechia ballad, but...
No, but it's not bop. It's not bop. It's more rocky. It's different.
But, like, you will definitely see the difference between Slimane's vocal range and Colleen's vocal range.
That is true, but I think televote care less about that than juries.
We will see. You can never call it every year as different anyway. Gareth Evans, you're saying duos are harder for viewers to relate to than soloists. Good point, actually. Although, do you know what has just popped into my head? with a moment like this.
Yeah, I love that song.
And
Love
also
it.
Tommy Linnette's as well, actually. That was
And
that was
Azerbaijan in
nice.
2011.
But could be a
I still don't get
compromise.
Azerbaijan in 2011.
Neither do I, Clara, but it did win, so we're apparently wrong.
But could be a compromise win, although you think Switzerland will do better in both jury and televote. Cinnamilly, I have a feeling you're talking about my da-da-das here when you're talking about it's quite irritating. Ibrahim, you're saying Greece top 3 guaranteed, top 5 at the worst. And Jess saying the only rehearsal to give you winner vibe so far is Switzerland. Well, let's talk about Switzerland, because Switzerland probably one of the most hotly anticipated rehearsals, because no one knew how it was going to be staged. You know, with some of the other favorites like Netherlands, you could kind of get a sense from the music video or you know, what you were going to see on stage. But yeah, Switzerland, you know, we were waiting for the outfit. What are they going to be wearing? How are they going to be staging this song? How are their vocals going to sound? And you know, I've seen some people maybe not too hot on the outfit, but in terms of how it looks like it's staged, the vocals, like bang on. You can't.
Oh yeah.
Like Nemo is so freaking talented. It's annoying how talented he is. How he can do all these different vocal styles, opera, rap, you know, normal singing, whatever normal singing is. What a talent they are, really. But Clara, your thoughts on Switzerland from what we've seen?
I don't like what they're wearing. Because how can I put it? Non-binary is part of is part of the personality and part of the thesis of this staging, but I don't know any girl that would dress like this in a way. And if they are trying to portray this gender fluidity, it's
I would say that if they're non-binary, then maybe not trying to put themselves across as a girl.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's sort of like Dolly style.
Yeah.
If you know what Dolly style is.
No.
From
I think I reckon we're actually going to see a change in outfit.
I could see that would make sense, because I don't know, I'm just very distracted by the coat, the furry coat.
Yeah.
And I love furry coats and I own a few, but it's very distracting.
Wigs, isn't it?
Yes.
I reckon that, and I reckon this might be a deliberate move as well. I reckon this isn't the outfit that we're going to see on our TV screens. I think Switzerland know that there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of intrigue about the performance. So I reckon they're holding something back with this. And I think the outfit might be one of those things.
But the pivot stage is amazing.
The pivot stage is
Oh, yeah.
But don't you get a bit nervous though seeing that? Because I'm thinking, oh my god, you're going to walk up there and you're going to slip, or
I don't get nervous watching the clip, because if the clip's out, it means that everything went fine. So
No,
maybe
I know, but
live.
it's just like, I don't know. It's like when I see Hera walking down those stairs, and you can see she's really focused on walking down the stairs. You know, I mean, I'm a man, so I can only do one thing at once, and singing and walking downstairs isn't in my repertoire. But yeah, I think there's a lot more to see with Switzerland, and I find that quite exciting. How about you, Fred? Oh, sorry.
For me, I found Nemo more approachable to relate to, because like someone in the comments was saying how they relate more to soloists. I found him more relatable and approachable at the pre-parties, on the stage of the pre-parties, which is obviously not Eurovision, but it's still like a popularity contest, if you may. Like, you need to gather the votes. So I found Nemo more approachable, the stage Nemo more approachable on the pre-parties.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Clara about the outfit. It's not for me, but and very much could be part of the plan to throw people off. Yes, indeed, breaking the code. But the
Breaking the code.
but yeah, no, the moves with the pivot stage and the way they sort of slide down, and that part is just really slick to me, and I think that's going to add to the element, and I hopefully with a better outfit choice, I think it's going to hit home.
And what we haven't seen is any lighting really in that clip either. And I think the lighting is going to be a very, very important part of Nemo's staging, especially in the second half of the song, where you've kind of got I say like the epic kind of brass sounds that come in. I can see like strobe lighting, and I think it's going to look really epic on stage. And I think it will look so epic that actually we won't even be really looking at what they're wearing.
True.
So, but like I say, I will eat my hat, as they say, if that is the outfit that they end up using. I saw someone speaking about, it's Lee Korn. Hello to you. Greece and Armenia are songs that reveal themselves on stage. Clearly, these are the dark horses of this year. Armenia is one that we haven't really spoken about yet. I think it's probably going to be one of the most fun performances that we see on stage, and I could see that taking Armenia through to the final.
Yeah, and she is so cheerful. Her energy is contagious, so I'm quite sure it's going to gather a lot of votes.
Yeah, and I've seen so many comments as well about how handsome the French guy is as well. I just think it's for me, I get Horodin Moldova type vibes from this. We've got something fun, we've got something a little bit comedic. I want to see a chicken and an apple on stage. I even want to see a Lada Niva. We've seen a car on stage with Voyager last year. I want to see a Lada Niva on stage. And for those of you who don't know what a Lada Niva is, it's a car. That's what that's what she's named after.
If you can provide the budget for all this, Andy, I'm sure Armenia.
It's a Lada. There is no budget for a Lada.
Apple, chicken. And I tell you what, though, Armenia, since returning in 2022, man, they know how to nail staging, seemingly, between Brunette, between Rosalind, and now this. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of acts are going for like dark stagings. This is a bundle of color, and it seems like such great fun. I love the prop and all that stuff. I feel like the lead singer is maybe holding back a little bit of energy, but I never look too deep into energy levels when it comes to these performances, because I know once there's an audience, it'll just burst out. They feed off the crowd. Yeah, Armenia has gone from, they've definitely gone up in the estimations as their qualification chances from this staging, seemingly. Maybe this would be one where camera cuts change our opinion, but overall, seems like a very, very good staging from Armenia.
Let's go back to semi-final one quickly. Let's talk about Poland.
So, do you guys know that this the staging director for this has done one other staging for Eurovision in the past, and that was James Newman Embers. That's the only other guy. That's the only other staging this staging director's done.
I was going to say we spoke to Luna yesterday or the day before, and what I love about this staging is the story that it's going to tell. And again, I think it's one where we've only seen a very short part, but I think if that story is told really well, I can see Poland going through. UK in semi-final one.
They are voting in the semi-final. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to get votes potentially maximum. Well, you've got Ireland as well. But you're going to get good votes from Poland. You've got Lithuania as well. You've got Ukraine. So
yeah, I feel like diaspora will get Poland in minimum. Like the only time Poland have not qualified in the televote in like ages was the ride, and this is not as bad as the ride. I do find it ironic going back to the stage director. It's like this guy only knows big. It's like you had big trumpets in 2021, you got big old towers in 2024. I feel like with this one, I'm reserving judgment for seeing more camera angles and just the whole thing. It's certainly interesting. I'm on the fence about the outfit. It's been memed a bit on Twitter, I will say. But yeah,
sometimes.
But one thing that is important in Eurovision is that the act needs to stand out, and especially with Poland, where it's like it's a solid song, but it's very radio-friendly pop. This staging seems like it's going to help it have a memorable standout moment, whether you like it or not. Put it that way.
Yes.
Let's have a look. We've got a Demir in Croatia saying Croatia winner. I can see a few comments about Croatia as well, so we'll come on to Croatia. But guys, your thoughts on Poland?
I think it's gonna qualify for sure. It's really lovely. It's very pleasant. For me, it's the same as I said about Sylvester Belt. it's just very pleasant vocals. You don't have very dramatic notes, but you don't need it because I could like. It's just so pleasant. Her vocals are so pleasant that I could just sleep. Like not sleeping like boring, but it's like it just relaxes me so much. I love hearing her sing.
I mean, it's one of my guilty pleasure songs, actually, because hearing it for the first time, I was like, oh, yeah, that's okay. But having heard the playlist over and over again, actually, it stands out, and it's one of the ones I sort of look forward to.
Isn't it cool how the playlist really influences how the song goes through? Like on you're on your daily things, and then the song comes in, and you just like jiggle a little bit, and then keep on doing what you're doing.
Yes,
that's Poland for me.
Yeah.
Broken.
I feel like Millie from the Vox Squad as well. Millie does a lot of our TikTok. So go and have a look on TikTok. And if you don't follow us on TikTok, make sure you go and follow us on there. She's obviously had a drink though since she entered the live chat because she's saying Iceland's giving her winner vibes.
Well, either that or Twan's hacked her account. And,
well, yeah. Hey, Mark Bugod from Switzerland. Thank you so much for all of your comments on our videos as well. And I hope for you, Mark, that Switzerland win because I know what that would mean to you. I was just trying to think if the UK has won since I've been live. They have, haven't they? Don't say anything, Harry.
They posted since I've been alive, Andy. You can go with that.
Switzerland, of course, last one in 1988 with Celine Dion. So, Mark, if they win, I would be so happy for you and for Ibrahim, who's in the chat as well, because he's also Swiss.
And if Mark and Ibrahim can pay for the accommodation while in Switzerland,
yeah, we're coming to stay with you, Mark. Mark,
subsidies.
Mark, I'm the first person to put my hand up and say I'm staying with you in Switzerland. Okay, so that's like a legal contract now that you have just unwittingly signed. But yeah, I would be so happy. But regardless, Switzerland came third in 2021. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I can see another top three at least.
Yeah,
for you guys this year, which would be amazing.
I would rather go to Croatia next year because my bank account would be happier, and we would be tanned, and we wouldn't have to necessarily bring coats.
Yes,
we could also be tanned in Italia. Just saying.
Yeah, but we were already in Turin.
But not because of Angelina Mango, Clara. It's if we have to go back because of Angelina.
Paula or Paula, you want to know our shock non-qualifier?
Austria.
Yeah, I know it's a girl bop, but unfortunately, it's giving me those vibes, and the performance just I don't think it's ready for Eurovision. If they really were going to get through, they really need to give it something, and I'm not sure it's there.
To be fair, it's not the easiest song to sing because the vocals go very low when and then it goes really high, so it must not be that comfortable, and she dances a lot and she's amazing at doing it. So it's a very difficult song, I think, technically to nail.
I would say for go on.
No, go on, Harry.
Well, I was just going to say I'm basing my shock non-qualifier on odds, and how. So Luxembourg currently has around an 80% chance of qualifying according to the odds. That is far, far too high. I don't see how it's that likely to qualify. One thing we've got to consider about Luxembourg, yes, it is a slight girl bop. Yes, it has some nice staging elements. I don't think the staging is necessarily bad by any means or anything like that. But I feel like people are forgetting two key factors about Luxembourg. One, they have very little neighbor help in the semi-final. They've got Germany, and that's pretty much it. Belgium, Austria, Switzerland, France, all of those lot voting in semi-final too. And the second one with Luxembourg is we have literally zero idea on how Luxembourg fare in a televote Eurovision system. Last time they were in the contest, there was no televotes. So for all we know, it could be another San Marino. It could be another.
There's no mobile phones.
There was no mobile phones. But for all we know, it could be another Malta, another San Marino, where unless you're sending the top, you do not get those televotes. And I know it's closing. It has a chance, and there will be some sentimental feeling of Luxembourg's coming back, so we could vote for him. I don't think it'll be as.
Please vote for Luxembourg.
Yes.
I don't think, though, that's necessarily going to be like the main factor in people's minds. Not everyone's going to give Luxembourg sympathy votes because they are coming back. So I don't see how it's that high up in the odds. It's in my personal 10, but there's a lot of doubts, I think, for Luxembourg. Again, it's similar to Ireland with their style. There's a lot of unknown factors around Luxembourg, not necessarily in the song, but in other ways.
I'm going to say Austria, and I'm like, I don't want to get dragged for saying this, and it's one of my favorite songs this year, but I'm going to say, oh no, I'm looking at who else is in that semi. I was going to say Serbia, but then they've got kind of Croatia and Slovenia. Maybe I'm going to say Serbia would be a shock non-qualifier. I don't know.
Portugal, maybe.
It's Portugal.
No, Clara, mute. No. No.
Never mute Clara.
No, Portugal must be.
I mean, again, I love her voice, but the song unfortunately doesn't hit home for me. I know you love it, Harry, but it's one of those songs that it's when it comes on the playlist. When it comes onto the playlist, it's just background music. I don't even sort of acknowledge it until the next, song that I'm bopping along to. I hate to use the word filler, but unfortunately, that's what it feels like to me. I mean, she has a beautiful voice, but the song's not for me.
Yeah, it's not so much about her; it's about the other songs around her.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Luxembourg are going to give Portugal a lot of points.
Yeah,
because there is a big Portuguese community in Luxembourg.
I've heard of that, actually.
Yes. Yeah. I can't see Portugal not getting through. I think UK will vote quite well for Portugal. But yeah, for me, it's Austria. We keep saying Kate Ryan, but that's showing our age as well. And Gareth Evans quite rightly said that Kate Ryan was also 100% televote, and she didn't score. And I can't really say this because I'm not a female, but
as a female here,
like, and I'm not saying that you would, but sometimes I think women voting for women, and I'm going to get dragged for this, but sometimes if it's like a woman and she's wearing quite a skimpy outfit and she's very beautiful, can there sometimes be like a jealousy type thing that would stop females voting? I actually saw a video about this this morning, and that could be something. Yeah, because it's mostly like, and I might get dragged here, like it's gays voting these women in skimpy outfits because they want to wear them themselves. Yeah, because they want to be her.
Right?
We want to be her rather than be with her.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that because you get the two camps. You get the diva.
Literally camp. Literally.
You get the sort of diva sort of vibes, where you get that sort of attitude, and but some people just don't buy into that and saying, well, actually, you haven't earned that.
I will say something. Women are more critical of other women.
Yeah.
Of course.
And this is real life things we're talking about. We're not. It's not just Eurovision. It's not how
we want the world to work, but it is how it is.
Let's say hello to it's Psycub. Hello to you, Psycub. You're saying Armenia is a winner for you. I think Armenia's going to go through. Ibrahim, you're saying Serbia, Portugal, and Belgium non-qualifiers. Belgium, there's so much expectation on Belgium this year as well. Bubble Pirate, hello to you. Pierre Marie is vocally much better than Colleen.
I wouldn't say much better. That's a stretch.
Millie, put the drink down now, love.
To TikToks, Millie.
Rye Bailey, you will vote for Australia and Ireland. I'm so excited to see how Australia do, because I have to say from I haven't actually seen the TikTok clip of their performance of their rehearsal.
They're on a horse.
But the backdrop for me looks like one of the most beautiful backdrops. They're like so colourful, and you've got the kind of spinny circly thing with all the colours. It's me talking in technical language. I think it just looks beautiful, and I think
I think it's one of those songs that you
don't want to keep
sing
clapping
along.
my hands either. Clap, clap,
Yeah.
clap.
No,
Well done.
it's one of those songs that before the end of it you'll be singing along because it's you have the lyrics obviously on the screen, and it has that vibe. So I mean I really quite like it. It's when I first heard it I wasn't impressed at all, but again being a part of the playlist, it is really grown on me.
Mm-hmm. We've got Aidan Harley Moran. You're saying, do we think Bambi Thug of Ireland will get through? We spoke about Bambi Thug earlier. I think they will.
Yes, I think.
I'm leaning toward. No, sorry.
No, I think Ireland will qualify. It's surprising enough. It has enough surprise elements for people to be shocked.
Yeah, and you can't get more different to everything else than Ireland, can you? If you're talking about something standing out, it's going to be Ireland.
Harry, you were going to say?
I'm leaning towards no at the moment, but it's borderline.
Don't worry.
I already sense when we get. I already sense from the prediction videos next week how many we're going to disagree on, because it's just such an open year. It's like last year it felt like we all agreed on all the qualifiers and we all got some wrong and some right, but like this year we're going to be all over the place.
We've got a Bubble Pirate. You're saying Malta or Austria. So is this for?
Yeah, which one would?
Or which one? I would still go Austria over Malta, but I think Malta will do much better than people expected them to do coming into this.
Yeah, I second everything you said.
Yeah.
Yes, and Ibrahim as well thinks that Ireland will go through. I mean, we said we would talk about Croatia. I don't feel like I have a lot to say about Croatia because Croatia is kind of exactly as I expected it to be. For me, it's probably going to win the semi-final. For me, it's a potential winner of Eurovision this year. And yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites this year. I love Baby Lasagna. Do you know who I love more though? I love, well, not that I love more, but I also love the male and the female dancer.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorite parts of Eurovision, and I hope they do it this year, is when like halfway through the performance, you just see him like dragging her off. That's hilarious for me. Like, I don't even know what the story is, but it's almost like he's just dragging off his dead body. Oh god,
we haven't been drinking, I promise.
Sadly, we're very sober.
We're very, very sober.
Wait till next week, though. Wait till next week.
Let's have a look. Ibrahim is saying that Malta is your biggest grower. This is what I love about Eurovision, when you surprise yourself. No, we've seen some. We've seen some showers while we've been here, but when you get, don't be so dirty, Fred. But when you surprise yourself with a song that, like, you know, that you didn't really like coming into it, or you, I don't know what I'm saying now. Someone say,
Okay, moving
so
on.
The problem with Malta, though, is I think the staging has elevated it. However, I've got this analogy for, I think, Malta, San Marino, and Australia when it comes to televote. This is the bar that they need to break to get a proper amount of televotes. You've got the Destiny, and above this bar, you've got Destiny, you've got Michaela, you've got all that lot. And below the bar is a load of Malta songs, which are good and would probably be easier to break that bar if they were from like Serbia or Lithuania or countries with a higher televote. But below this bar, it's less likely to qualify. I do want to point out, for people saying Malta is likely a qualifier, everyone was saying this about the busker last year, that, oh my gosh, their staging's elevated and they're going to qualify. I love the busker as well. They are some of the loveliest people I've had the opportunity of interviewing. However, I was one of the few people that stuck to their guns and said they weren't going to qualify, and sadly they came last in the semi-final. So I prefer the busker. What? Who?
We don't say that name.
But
if you say it twice more, he will appear. You know what happens when you say Serhat too many times.
Oh God, Serhat. But like, there's a bar that Malta, some countries have to breach. I don't know if Sarah Bonici's close to that bar, but I don't know if she's quite there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it will qualify. I just think it will do better than people.
Yeah,
I think people possibly saw Malta as maybe being kind of last place, or San Marino being last place or Czechia being last place in the semi-final. But I think Malta will. I think Malta will do much better than people expect, even in terms of points, maybe. So
Yeah.
not necessarily talking about qualification. But yeah, and thank you for mentioning the busker. My boys from last year. I love
They
them.
are so lovely.
And who was the one that I loved?
Which one did you love?
And I
The
think
lead
I loved
singer?
one and then it changed, didn't it? But yeah, we are going to have to wrap up because we have been working all day. And
Working 9 to 5, more than that.
Clara's fuel, when I say fuel, when the alcohol runs out, it's like you have to fill her up again. You see?
Does that mean that we're going out for cocktails now?
We're having a cocktail tonight.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think we deserve it. Let's have a look. We've got vet images. Do we think there's any chance Bambi Thug could win the whole contest?
No.
No, not for me. I think it's probably too out there to be a winner. But I do think that Ireland will get a good result. And actually, if they do qualify through to the final, I can see them doing very well in the final.
Yeah, I mean, It's
Sorry,
the song polarizes a bit too much because unfortunately you're either going to love it or you hate it. It's going to be a Marmite.
Agera.
Let Harry go.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say before we wrap up, can I quickly shout out a song that I think deserves mentioning from their staging? Because there's a few songs that are on non-qualification streaks this year, and I think if Georgia doesn't break theirs from what we've seen in their staging, and all of a sudden
have we frozen?
You've frozen a little bit, yeah. You've frozen a little bit.
We are here. We can hear you loud and
so
clear.
I'll carry on speaking, but I'll just say, like, if Georgia doesn't break their qualification streak this year, I don't know what more they can do because they seem like they've actually got the staging and the vocals and everything nailed down this year. I'd argue it's the best stage gal bop out of both semi-finals.
I have to say that when we saw the clip and we saw the photos, I think for us, I think it looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys can hear us because our internet connection has gone really bad. Can you hear us?
Oh, we can hear you. It's a bit like blurry.
Do I sound robotic?
You sound robotic, yeah.
Oh, that's just me talking in my normal voice.
I see.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I'm not even thinking of Georgia not qualifying. And if they do, I think we need to start a riot. Amazing voice. She's got that high note end of the song. She's got good-looking men dancing around her from what I can see in the clip. She's on the podium. There's fire. There's going to be pyrotechnics. It's like everything is there for me. So
and her teeth are very white.
She's got amazing teeth. She has got amazing teeth.
That's what's going to get her to the final. Those teeth, I tell you, the teeth.
I think we're back.
Yeah,
I
you're
was going
back.
to say hello to Maria Martin. Hello to you. Guys, we are going to wrap up now, but we will be coming back for some more lives. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. We've got so much more to come. Make sure also that you go and follow us on TikTok to have a look at all of our TikTok content. Why is TikTok so hard to say with words followed, like beginning with a C? TikTok content. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Also, we hit 25,000 subscribers a week ago, so thank you to everyone that has followed us up to this point. We would love to hit 26,000 while we're here in Malmo, so do go and subscribe. Get your grands to subscribe, your granddads, your cousins, your aunties, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, everyone. And Harry, we can't wait to see you out here in a few days' time.
Oh, I can't wait to join you guys. It's going to be amazing.
Have a safe journey, and guys, we will see you all very soon. Bye.